Imagine this, a tiny, glistening sphere, bursting with an ocean's worth of umami, a single spoonful, costing more than a fine steak dinner. This isn't just food. It's caviar. For centuries, this luxurious delicacy has been a symbol of wealth, power, and exquisite taste, a culinary experience reserved for emperors, tsars, and the world's elite. But the allure of caviar goes far beyond its price tag. It's a story woven into the fabric of history, culture, and, unfortunately, a growing ethical dilemma. We're embarking on a journey into the world of caviar, starting at its very beginning, a journey that begins long before the glistening beads ever grace a luxurious plate. We'll explore its fascinating history, unravel the secrets of its unique appeal, and confront the challenges facing this ancient industry.
I've always been fascinated by the history of food, and the story of caviar is particularly intriguing. I mean, it's not just a food, it's a status symbol.
Exactly. Before it became a symbol of extravagance, caviar held a far more humble place in history. Its origins lie in the fertile waters of the Caspian Sea, a region that has for millennia provided humanity with an abundance of aquatic life, including the sturgeon, the fish that gives us this prized delicacy. Early uses of caviar weren't necessarily tied to the high life. Evidence suggests that many cultures along the Caspian Sea and its tributaries consumed sturgeon roe, caviar, as a regular part of their diet, a readily available food source rather than a symbol of elite status. Think of it as a much earlier version of, say, sardines. Imagine nomadic tribes, fishermen, and early civilizations incorporating this readily available source of protein into their daily meals. It's a stark contrast to the images of opulent banquets and champagne wishes that today come to mind when we mention caviar. The transition from simple sustenance to a symbol of opulence is a fascinating journey in itself, and one we'll explore further. But first, we must travel to the waters from which this luxurious delicacy emerges. Next, we'll delve into the fascinating process of harvesting and preparing caviar from sturgeon to spoon. So, we've established that caviar wasn't always the exclusive preserve of royalty, but how does this humble food source become the luxurious delicacy we know today? That journey begins with the sturgeon itself, a truly remarkable creature. Let's dive into the world of the sturgeon. These ancient fish, some species dating back over 200 million years, are truly living fossils. They are characterized by their elongated bodies, 5 rows of bony scutes, and a remarkably slow growth rate. Some species can take decades, even a century, to reach maturity. This slow growth contributes significantly to their rarity and, subsequently, the high price of their eggs. Imagine a creature that can live for over 100 years, witnessing centuries of history unfold. They inhabit diverse ecosystems, from the frigid waters of the Siberian rivers to the warmer, brackish environments of the Caspian Sea. Their life cycle is long and complex, a testament to their resilience and adaptability. Think of the vastness of these habitats, the sheer scale of the waterways they call home. This inherent rarity, coupled with their slow growth, is a key factor in the high cost of caviar.
That's incredible. A century-old fish. I had no idea.
Precisely, and this longevity directly impacts the sustainability of the caviar industry, a subject we'll touch on shortly. The harvesting process itself is a delicate balance between tradition and modern sustainable practices. Traditionally, sturgeon were caught using various methods, some of which had a devastating impact on their populations. Modern sustainable harvesting methods, however, are far more conscious of the need to protect these incredible creatures and ensure the industry's longevity. Think about the difference between wild-caught and farmed caviar. Wild-caught caviar is, as the name suggests, harvested from sturgeon living in their natural habitats. This process is highly regulated to minimize environmental impact, often focusing on sustainable quotas to protect the sturgeon populations. However, farmed caviar presents an alternative. Farmed sturgeon are raised under controlled conditions, allowing for more consistent production and, in theory, a reduced pressure on wild stocks. This allows for better monitoring of their growth and welfare, and a more certain supply. The farming techniques also vary, ranging from sustainable practices to intensive ones. The critical point here is to be conscious of ethical sourcing, ensuring that the caviar you consume comes from a sustainable source. It's a significant choice, impacting not just the environment, but the future of these extraordinary creatures. But the journey from sturgeon to spoon doesn't end with the harvest. The transformation of sturgeon roe into the glistening caviar we associate with luxury is a meticulous process. The roe is carefully extracted, then cleaned and graded according to size, color, and texture. This is followed by the crucial salting process, where the roe is carefully cured to preserve it and enhance its flavor. The quality of the salting, along with the grading, directly determines the final grade and price of the caviar. Then comes the packaging, often a beautiful presentation befitting the product's luxury status. The whole process is a testament to human skill and craftsmanship, a true art form reflecting the value of the end product, from the vastness of the wild waters to the meticulous care in the processing plant. The creation of high-quality caviar requires a deep respect for nature and for culinary excellence. So, we've journeyed from the ancient sturgeon in its natural habitat to the carefully curated product on a luxurious plate. We've seen the balance of tradition and modern practices, the challenges of sustainable harvesting, and the precision of the processing. Now, let's delve deeper into the fascinating story of how caviar ascended from a humble food to a symbol of unparalleled opulence, a story rich with history and intrigue. The transformation of caviar from a simple food source to a symbol of unparalleled luxury is a story as captivating as the delicacy itself. We've explored its origins and harvesting, but the true ascent to elite status is a fascinating tale of royal patronage, cultural influence, and global expansion. Let's begin with its close association with royalty and aristocracy. For centuries, caviar has graced the tables of emperors, tsars, and the world's wealthiest. Imagine opulent banquets in the courts of Europe, where shimmering plates of caviar served as a testament to the host's power and prestige. Historical paintings and records often depict caviar as the centerpiece of lavish feasts, a symbol of abundance and refinement. Think of the grandeur of the Russian Tsar's feasts, where mountains of caviar were served alongside other delicacies, a scene repeated in the courts of other European monarchies. This consistent association with the elite solidified caviar's image as a symbol of unparalleled luxury and exclusivity. The very act of consuming caviar became a statement, a declaration of wealth and social standing. The Russian Empire, in particular, played a pivotal role in establishing caviar's elite status. The vast Caspian Sea, a rich source of sturgeon, lay within its borders, making caviar a readily available, yet highly prized, commodity. The Tsars actively cultivated this association, incorporating caviar into their opulent lifestyle and solidifying its place as a symbol of Russian imperial power. Imagine the grand feasts held in the Winter Palace, where caviar flowed freely, a testament to the empire's wealth and influence. Anecdotes abound of lavish caviar-laden banquets, further cementing its association with imperial grandeur. The sheer scale of consumption by the Russian aristocracy contributed significantly to the perception of caviar as a luxury item, reserved for the few.
It sounds almost mythical, the sheer abundance of caviar at those events.
Indeed. But the story doesn't end with the Russian Empire. The rise of global trade and travel played a crucial role in spreading caviar's popularity beyond its traditional territories. As global trade routes expanded, caviar found its way to the tables of the wealthy elite in Europe, North America, and Asia. Its unique taste and texture, coupled with its already established reputation for exclusivity, quickly made it a sought-after delicacy in these new markets. This globalization reinforced its status as a luxury item, further increasing its demand and price. The establishment of caviar houses and specialty shops in major cities around the world further contributed to its prestige and cemented its place as a culinary icon. The caviar's journey from the Caspian Sea to the tables of the world's elite represents a fascinating intersection of history, culture, and commerce. From the humble origins in the Caspian Sea to its position as a global symbol of luxury, caviar's story is a compelling blend of history, culture, and economics. But the very factors that contributed to its opulent rise, the slow growth of sturgeon and the high demand, have brought us to a critical juncture. The next part of our journey will explore the ethical challenges facing the sturgeon industry, the sustainability of caviar production, and the urgent need to ensure a future for this remarkable creature and its prized delicacy. The glittering allure of caviar, however, casts a shadow. The very factors that have propelled it to the pinnacle of culinary luxury, its rarity and exquisite taste, threaten its very existence. We now turn to the ethical considerations surrounding the sturgeon industry, a critical conversation about sustainability and responsible consumption. Overfishing and habitat loss are the twin demons haunting the sturgeon population. For centuries, uncontrolled fishing practices decimated sturgeon numbers. Imagine vast nets indiscriminately sweeping through their habitats, capturing not only sturgeon, but countless other marine creatures. This wasn't just about caviar. Sturgeon were also prized for their meat and other parts, leading to a relentless depletion of their stocks. The destruction of their natural habitats, rivers and estuaries, further exacerbated the crisis. Think of the impact of dam construction, pollution, and habitat fragmentation. These factors severely restrict the sturgeon's ability to thrive and reproduce. The scale of this destruction is devastating, bringing several sturgeon species to the brink of extinction. These magnificent creatures, living fossils that have survived for millions of years, are now facing an existential threat largely due to human activity.
It's shocking to think that such a luxury item could be causing such significant environmental damage.
Absolutely. The good news is that there's a growing awareness of these issues, and concerted efforts are underway to promote sustainable practices. Aquaculture, the farming of sturgeon, presents one promising avenue. Well-managed sturgeon farms can reduce the pressure on wild populations, providing a sustainable source of caviar. But it's crucial that these farms operate ethically, prioritizing the welfare of the fish and minimizing environmental impact. Imagine pristine farms where sturgeon are raised in carefully controlled environments, mimicking their natural habitats as closely as possible. This ensures not only a healthy supply of caviar but also contributes to the conservation of wild sturgeon. Beyond aquaculture, several conservation efforts are underway to protect wild sturgeon populations. These include the establishment of protected areas, stricter fishing regulations, and habitat restoration projects. Organizations dedicated to sturgeon conservation work tirelessly to monitor populations, research their habitats, and advocate for stronger protective measures. Several certification programs also help consumers identify sustainably sourced caviar. These programs ensure that the caviar meets specific standards for sustainability, traceability, and ethical practices. Look for certifications that guarantee that the caviar comes from responsibly managed farms or that it adheres to stringent quotas for wild-caught caviar. Choosing certified caviar actively supports these efforts and helps ensure the future of the sturgeon. The future of caviar hinges on our collective responsibility. We must actively seek out sustainably sourced caviar, supporting producers who prioritize ethical practices and environmental protection. Responsible consumption isn't about foregoing luxury, it's about making informed choices, ensuring that our enjoyment of this exquisite delicacy doesn't come at the cost of the sturgeon's survival. Imagine a future where the demand for caviar fuels conservation efforts, where luxury and sustainability coexist. This future is achievable, but it requires conscious choices from consumers and innovative solutions from the industry. This future demands a commitment to ethical practices, transparency in the supply chain, and a deeper understanding of the critical role we play in protecting this ancient creature and its remarkable product. The journey into the world of caviar has been one of discovery, from its humble beginnings to its ascent to luxury, and now, the critical ethical challenges it faces. We've explored its history, its harvesting, its cultural significance, and its environmental impact. But the story of caviar isn't complete without understanding its exquisite sensory experience. Next, we'll explore the delicate art of appreciating caviar, its taste, texture, and the perfect pairings that elevate this luxurious delicacy to an unparalleled culinary experience. So, we've unraveled the history, the harvesting, and the ethical considerations surrounding caviar. Now, let's talk about the sensory experience itself, the reason why this tiny sphere commands such a high price. We're going to move beyond the facts and figures and delve into the pure, unadulterated pleasure of tasting caviar. First, let's explore the fascinating variety of caviar available. It's not a one-size-fits-all delicacy. There's a world of difference between the various types, each with its own unique characteristics. Think of the legendary beluga caviar, the largest and arguably most prized of all, with its large, pearly gray eggs and exceptionally buttery, almost melt-in-your-mouth texture. Its flavor profile is rich, subtly salty, and often described as having nutty undertones. Then there's ostra, prized for its slightly smaller, golden brown eggs and its more robust, intense flavor. Ostra offers a delightful balance of nuttiness and a more pronounced brininess. And finally, we have savruga, distinguished by its smaller, dark gray eggs and a firmer, more delicate texture. Its flavor is cleaner and less intense than beluga or ostra, often described as having a subtly salty, almost slightly sweet taste. Each type offers a unique sensory adventure, a testament to the incredible biodiversity of the sturgeon species. The differences in size, color, and flavor are a direct reflection of the sturgeon species, their diet, and their environment. Now, appreciating caviar isn't simply about popping a spoonful into your mouth. It's an experience to be savored. The ideal serving temperature is crucial, slightly chilled, around 40-45 degrees F, allowing the subtle flavors to fully express themselves. The traditional method involves serving the caviar on a chilled, non-reactive surface, like a mother-of-pearl spoon or a small glass dish. Avoid metal, as it can affect the taste. Classic accompaniments elevate the experience. Think of the delicate crunch of a blini, the cool creaminess of creme fraiche, or the subtle tang of finely chopped chives. The combination of textures and flavors creates a symphony on the palate. Champagne, especially a dry and crisp variety, is a perennial favorite, its bubbles acting as an effervescent counterpoint to the caviar's richness. But other pairings can be equally exquisite. Think of a dry vodka, a light and refreshing white wine, or even a subtly sweet sake. The possibilities are as diverse and exciting as the caviar itself.
It sounds almost ritualistic, the whole process.
It is, in a way. It's a ritual of appreciation, a celebration of both the delicacy and the history behind it. And the ritual extends to engaging all your senses. Before even tasting, take a moment to appreciate the visual appeal, the glistening beads, the subtle color variations, the almost otherworldly shimmer. Inhale gently to appreciate the delicate aroma, often described as subtly earthy and oceanic, with a hint of brine. And then, finally, the taste. Let the caviar melt slowly on your tongue, noticing the texture, the delicate pop of the egg, the smooth, creamy mouthfeel. Pay attention to the interplay of salty, umami, and subtly sweet notes, a true dance of flavors. Allow the experience to unfold slowly, appreciating the nuances and subtleties that make each spoonful unique. It's more than just eating. It's a complete sensory immersion. From the wild waters to the luxurious plate, the story of caviar is a testament to nature's artistry and human craftsmanship. It's a culinary adventure that engages not only our taste buds but also our senses and our awareness of the delicate balance between luxury and responsibility. And now, we've come to the end of our exploration of this fascinating delicacy, but the legacy of caviar extends far beyond its immediate experience. It's a legacy intertwined with history, culture, and a growing awareness of the need for sustainability. We'll now delve into the legacy of luxury and responsibility that shapes the future of this extraordinary delicacy. So, we've journeyed from the ancient sturgeon, silent witnesses to millennia of history, to the glistening beads on a luxurious plate. We've traced caviar's path from a humble food source to a symbol of unparalleled opulence, a journey marked by royal patronage, global expansion, and more recently, a growing awareness of ethical concerns. We've explored the delicate art of harvesting, the meticulous process of preparation, and the sheer sensory delight of tasting this exquisite delicacy. We've also confronted the challenges facing the sturgeon industry, overfishing, habitat loss, and the urgent need for sustainable practices. The story of caviar isn't just about taste. It's a story of human interaction with nature, a story of luxury tempered by responsibility. The future of caviar, indeed the future of the sturgeon itself, depends on our collective actions. We've learned about the importance of choosing sustainably sourced caviar, supporting aquaculture practices that prioritize the well-being of the sturgeon, and selecting products from producers committed to transparency and environmental protection. Every spoonful of caviar tells a story of the fish, the people who harvest it, and the consumers who appreciate its exquisite nature. Let's ensure that this story has a sustainable and ethical future. Let your next purchase of caviar be a vote for responsible luxury. Look for certification programs, explore producers dedicated to conservation, and support those who are actively working to ensure that this extraordinary delicacy is enjoyed without jeopardizing the future of these magnificent creatures. Imagine the intricate dance of light on a single, perfect sphere, the subtle shimmer, the delicate texture, the promise of a sensory experience unlike any other. That's caviar, a testament to nature's bounty, a symbol of luxury, and a reminder of our responsibility to protect the delicate balance of our world. Let the enduring allure of this magnificent delicacy inspire us to make conscious choices, ensuring that the caviar story continues for generations to come. Let the memory of its delicate flavor and exquisite texture remind us of the importance of balance between indulgence and preservation. The future of caviar is not just a culinary matter. It's an environmental one, a testament to our relationship with the natural world and the choices we make today. Thank you.